which is pretty crazy. Okay, let's play their merfolk then. Well, summon, let's just get that off the top. Fabled Passage is good because then we can see the top card and then we can use it if we want to. Okay, so now we're just getting loads of blockers. The Xanathar here is looking pretty crazy. Hello everyone, got a really interesting one for you today. It's a Lazav, the Multifarious deck, paired with Gyruda, Doom of Depth. So Gyruda, you've probably all seen before whenever it comes in. Each player mills 4, then you resurrect a creature that's even mana onto the battlefield from either of your decks. So that's the first piece of synergy. Then Lazav is the other interesting piece. He comes down early to Surveil 1, which is pretty good, so you can abuse that with any ETB manipulation you have. But also, he can pay X to become a copy of a creature card in your graveyard with mana value X, except it's called Lazav and it has this ability, so you can keep switching back and forth between different creatures in your graveyard. So the idea is, you can get Lazav out, then you can start milling with Gyruda, and then Lazav can become the creatures that you mill in your graveyard if for any reason they get killed or you just choose a different creature. It's pretty cool. The way the deck works is it's all even CMC, and that's because Gyruda isn't in the deck as a partner, and that's the prerequisite to having this as a partner. So everything is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8 or 10 mana essentially. So it's a bit tricky because you miss out on 1-drops, which is stuff like Thoughtseize, and a lot of the protection spells are at 1 mana. But this is why our curve is incredibly aggressive at 2, because we want to make up for the fact we're missing 1. So you've got all the typical kind of Dimir spells that you'd expect at this range. Bind of Secrecy, Drown Lock, both can counter things. Tainted Indulgence can draw, and then you discard a card to put in the graveyard. Anything with Surveil in this deck is really fantastic. And then the final threats that you want to get out, cheat out with Gyruda, essentially all the stuff you've maybe seen before. So you've got Ulamog, Jingitaxius. Cityscape Leveler is pretty awesome because if you mill this, firstly, you can get it out with Gyruda, but also you can unearth it for A, and also Lazav can become a copy of this, and if Lazav attacks as a copy of this, you're going to destroy a permanent. So this basically has 3 pieces of utility in the deck. So Cityscape Leveler is awesome. Villas, whenever you take damage, you're going to draw cards, so on and so forth. So there's fantastic cards here to win out the game. You can essentially put in your favourite humongous big creatures. So if you do like the look of the deck and think it's interesting, the deck list will be below, so you can copy it and give it a go yourself. And yeah, I think you'll really have fun with this. It's pretty powerful being able to cheat out humongous creatures. Don't forget, with a companion rule, you have to pay 3 to put this in your hand, so it will take a bit of time to get it out. But once you do, if you get one of these heavy hitters here, chances are that you're probably going to be in very good standing to win the rest of the game. So yeah, don't forget to leave me a like, and why don't you subscribe if you enjoy the channel. It really helps out. Let's get into the gameplay. Okay, opponent goes first with Lavinia. So Lavinia is a really powerful card against certain deck types. So she basically stops you from cheating out spells. So each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with mana value greater than another land. So if someone's got loads of rocks or a way to double lands like green, she can stop you. And she says whenever opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter it. So she's good against stuff like Cascade, I suppose, yeah. Pretty good. Don't think it affects us too much. So it's a white-blue aggro deck, which is very cool. Redain, that's going to be an absolute bugger. That is going to be very tricky to get around now. Let's go for Lazav. Yeah, because now the Meat Massacre costs a lot more. I mean, we can block one of the... Goodness me. Yeah, Redain is definitely the thing. Definitely not something you want to see. And now they're just going to use counter magic. Okay, we're putting a lot of lands in the graveyard here. Infernal Grasp. Okay, so we have an answer. Right, so we're just going to pass. We can not only kill the Redain. Okay, fantastic. Here's the window. Okay, now everything's back on track again. We've got the Meat Hook Massacre, hopefully available next turn. Loran, I don't want that to come in because it's going to kill the search, so let's get rid of this. I mean, they can play it next turn still, which is sad. Okay, so they can... Yeah, it's definitely in the hand, of course. Yeah, the search is... ooh, how aggressive is their deck? 2 and 1. I think we bin it. We want to find more... Okay, language is good as well. Yeah, let's just go for the meat massacre here. Getting this out may cause the Loran to kill this instead. So basically giving them a different angle to go for. Let's see. I still think they go for search because it flips in our next turn otherwise. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, search. It's just too tempting, isn't it? Yeah, it makes sense to do that. And yeah, I think we passed the turn here. We've got the Memory Deluge. See, now the thing about Loran is, this is it's funny because in paper this is quite expensive. I think it's probably like $5 or $6, which I think is a lot for an effect like this. But giving me a card, not too bothered. I would be bothered if they had a Narset, which meant that I couldn't draw an extra card. I suppose because it has Vigilance as well. Yeah, I can see why this is good. Swing in for 2, no downside, Dawn of Hope. Right, let's respond to that. Vesuvian Mist. Okay, we'll go for a land in the mist, I think. So they can pay 4 to draw a card. Recon mission. Oh, that's pretty disgusting, I have to say. Wow, this is... Okay, so this is 100% aggressive deck. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so what I think we're going to do... We're just going to hold off again. 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to try and use the Deluge in their turn. So they're just going to go in with the attack of Loran and draw a card. Okay, that's modest. Damn, that's pretty good. Draw a card when it hits. You can draw a card whenever it wants. Wrath. And let's see if the Deluge resolves here. They could counter it. Entirely possible. But it does mean the shields will be down. They're going to draw cards and then copy. Whoa, okay, okay. They mean business. They mean business. Okay, Aether Flux draws off our gains us some life. Okay, let's go for the Xanathar Aether Flux. Wow, okay. So got... Yeah, I think we're going to languish here. We're going to just sort these out because that's just going to draw them so many cards over time. Because if they were to hit each turn, that's an extra 2 cards as well. And yeah, the lifelink could matter because, as I said, they're an aggressive build. Lavinia comes down. 3 mana open to protect her. Let's see if we can resolve the Lazav. Wow, okay, Kerry's a really good hit there. Let's go for the Thassa. I wonder if they have any counters at all. It's one of those funny things where you play a blue player. Okay, so there was one. Fair enough. I'm just scared that something we do is going to be stopped by Lavinia, but I just don't think what we have at the minute is that at risk. I love how we can stave them off with a Lazav. It's pretty funny. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just go for the Villas. Worst case scenario, if they counter this, next turn we could even become a copy of it. Whoa, we get to resolve it. I mean, it could just die here. Okay, pass the turn. For now on, if you take any damage, we draw cards. The fact they made the Dawn of Hope creature suggests they don't have a board wipe. They're going to swing in. And that's because they want to draw a card with the Dawn of Hope. So they're getting a bit desperate. The funny part is I could have actually just taken that just to draw a card myself. Deputy of Detention. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's go for the Kairi. Ward 3 on this is going to be pretty important as well. Like, okay, fantastic. We get to resolve. The Ether Flux Reservoir is literally keeping us in the game. It's going to take us back to 25 life. They are really going in strong with these tokens here. Do they just alpha me? I wonder. Just the one. Okay, I mean, if they do kill Kairi for any reason, they will be losing quite a few things, because this can bounce things with total amount of 6 or less to the hand. So this is essentially like a tactical board wipe. We can't use Lazav if Lavinia comes down. Is that okay? I think so. Ooh, Cathar Commando, and they're going to be able to kill the reservoir as well. But we can protect the reservoir with a time twist. Let's do that. So I'm happy about that. So they've basically wasted their Cathar. I always wonder why people do that at sorcery speed. It's legitimately a flash speed spell. Okay, let's go for the Gyruda. See what we get. Could be game ending at this point. 20 life. Feel very safe. So we could annoy them with their own Thalia. And we'll go for the Pilferer. And pass the turn. I want to block the Linvala here. Pilferer is good. Lets us draw cards if they cast anything not from their hand. Man, they're desperate to go for that. As if they had 2 answers for the reservoir. That's annoying. I suppose we already gained... Well, they just gave up. They just gave up. Interesting. They had a lot of attrition there. I think in hindsight they would have probably been okay. Like, the Dawn of Hope lets them create tokens and gain life and draw cards. We can't tutor. We can't cheat spells in. We can't activate abilities. We can't have Aetherflux Reservoir. They draw cards when they attack. I reckon they should have been more aggressive early on a little bit with the recon mission, or maybe make more tokens. They got the Arden Bell as well. The fact they could have drawn an extra 1 or 2 cards a turn may have helped them before I resolved the Gyruda. I think they were a little bit too reserved, considering they're an aggressive build, but fairly reserved. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, that was a cool matchup. Don't see that deck very often. Okay, opponent goes first with Kumina, Tyrant of Orazca, which is a Simic Merfolk deck, and we have the perfect answer in our hand with the Languish. If we can resolve the Languish, we could be okay here. Meat Hook Massacre is good, but we're looking for our 4th. We're looking for our 3rd and 4th mana, which we currently don't have. We only have an extra one here, so we're going to put this on black, and then probably Sign in Blood. Or we could use Thought Erasure to try and get a land on top, because otherwise we'll be discarding anyway. Oh wow, okay. Wow, so many good things. Get for the Mirror Readery there. Land on top's perfect. So maybe I shouldn't have got rid of a Merfolk there, but I just feel like if this gives things +1 toughness, then it means that Kumena would be on 5 toughness, and I wouldn't be able to kill it with a Languish. So I think that was important. 4 toughness on a 3-drop is pretty awesome. Also, the Deep Root Elite is getting... okay, so now it's out of range. Yeah, that's a shame. Although we can use the Planar Incision to slow him down a bit. I think I want to use the Sign in Blood here. Hopefully get... Okay, so we got our land. So we'll see what they do. It is a bit tricky because obviously the Brineborn Cutthroat has Flash. So they can flash that in to give Kumena 6 toughness. So this is kind of awkward, to be honest. So I think what I'll do, in the end of their turn, I'm going to use the Airtide to kill the Kumena. Because currently, this is causing me a bit... Although saying that, if they tap 3 merfolk, they're going to draw a card. So let's see if we can kill it before they untap. Because I really don't want them to do that, to be honest. Yeah, getting him out before they can respond is going to be really important. I have to stress, it is so joyful to face a deck that is different, and it isn't Roscoe. Kumina, Torrent of Araska. It's something you don't see very often, and when it first came out, we used to. And it's a very powerful Merfolk deck. It's a shame we don't see it very often. The artwork is also fabulous. Okay, so seeing as we're going to languish anyway, I think we just block here. And yeah, I think a 2-for-1 is perfectly acceptable here. They could counter this. There's a few ways to do that in just 1 blue. And they do with a Spell Pierce. Okay, so we might be in a little bit of trouble here. Yeah, I didn't expect that. Didn't expect that at all. They're leaving more mana up as well. Let's see if we can resolve a Lazav. Then we can start thinking about what we... Tail's End, wow, okay. They're really aggressively hitting us for the tempo swings here. Okay, let's see if we can feed the swarm on the Merfolk Skydiver, because if they ever manage to proliferate with this, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Do they just have another counter spell? Wow. Okay, so next turn, they're probably going to go for the Vivian Reed here. We're at 10 just from the aggro. Kind of crazy.
Would you like to see what's come to me?
So the really annoying part is that we have 2 flyers, which means that Vivian Reed is going to be able to just take these out. Actually, let's go for the Extinction Event because they're both even, and we don't want the Skydiver to proliferate the Vivian Reed. That works out pretty well. Then in the following turn we can use the Dream Eater, flash, bounce something, and then we can attack in to the Vivian Reed the following turn. So yeah, that would be... So it takes a bit of setup. At least they're just getting lands. But she's on 7 loyalty, which is kind of scary. Let's draw with some Tainted Indulgence. We'll get rid of the Planar Incision. I want to hit land drops. Really. Ulamog's great. Let's pass the turn. Graveyard is filled with goodies. Okay, so they're going to look at the top card. So she's on ultimate next turn, so we have to deal with that. And I really hope they just don't have counter spells, because we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Counter non-creature spell unless its controller pays 1. Okay. Forerunner of the Heralds. Whenever another Merfolk enters, put a counter on Forerunner. Okay. So we're probably just going to use the Dream Eater here to come in, bounce the Vivian Reed. Oh no, actually, do we want to bounce it though? Starting to question myself here. Civilin's going to be annoying. So they're not going to attack. Interesting. That's got flash, but... So we're going to get to Surveil as well. We're going to respond with the Verdalian Hexcatcher here, I wonder. Oh, Leveler. How much mana do we have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need a mana. So we put that to the bin. We topped a land. That means we can use the Leveler. And then we can bounce the Kumina here. I think that works out pretty well. They can draw a card with the Kumina annoyingly as well by tapping 3 creatures. Now, the other annoying part is that they have the Forerunner, which is almost lethal on us. It's half our life. Do we Yeah, we killed the Vivian Reed here. Attack here. Leave this back as a blocker. Kill the Forerunner. Okay, yeah, this actually works out really well.
I've seen
And then
worse.
the leveler goes away. Okay, so we're not dead yet. And if we top deck a land, we can go for the Gyruda in the same turn. And then I mean, it's getting us closer to the Ulamog as well. We could go for the Burning Rune Demon. Merfolk God. It's very interesting this is an actual Merfolk God, because if you notice, a lot of the gods from Amonkhet, they look like animals, but they're not given the animal type. If you take Hazaret, for instance, which is like a jackal, but it's only a god, whereas the Sivillin gets the privilege of having an actual type, which is very unique and makes it even stronger than it already is, because obviously it cares about other merfolk, but when it cares about other merfolk, obviously it's going to be a tribal deck. So making this a merfolk god is surprisingly powerful than just being a god. So we've lost a lot of life just from early merfolk attacking, so I don't feel very safe. They could just go for Lair of the Hydra, pump it up. So we're going to go for Kamina. Right, so they're establishing the long game here. And yeah, this is not looking good, to be honest. Because next turn they pretty much have lethal. So I think we need to go for the Burning Rune Demon, I think. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pyre of Heroes as well. Indestructible Civilin's going to be an absolute nightmare. Yeah, so let's go for the Burning Rune here. It's going to let us tutor for 2 things. Bearing in mind that Vidalian Hexcatcher can make us counter something unless we pay 1. So maybe we get 2 1-drops. Or maybe we get the Massacre Worm. No, Massacre Worm doesn't even do much, does it? Worm Coil Engine? Oh, this is tricky, this is. Maybe we get Tyrant Scorn and Drown? This is very tricky. Or, Tyrant Scorn and Drown. I think these are the options. Because in a weird way, they basically say kill one of their merfolk. It's probably going to sack itself, to be perfectly honest. But it has got Ward 1, so I'm not going to be able to target any of them, which is really irritating, actually. What's giving it Ward? The Civilin's giving them Ward. Okay, so we're not going to attack. Right, this is very precarious here. We're in a very bad situation. The Lair of the Hydra. That's a 7/7. They've got the Hall of Storm Giants in addition. So let's see what they get rid of here. Destroy creature. Well, we can only target the Civilin. That's actually very annoying. We actually can't hit anything. Yeah, we can't hit a single thing. They're just going to swing in with the Hall of the Storm Giants. Okay. So we'll do that. Damn, this Civilin's irritating. Really irritating. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They could even upgrade one with the Pyre of Heroes to get a bigger one if they wanted. Yeah, I'm starting to think this was probably a bad choice to drown in the lock because we can't target anything, but I'm going to go for a 2-mana Merfolk Windrobber here. Can we get out of this? I really don't know. I find it very, very strange that they have two of the strongest man lands out, but there you go. They just got very lucky there. Yeah, we can't kill a single thing. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're in a really bad situation. Let's go for the curate here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, we could get the Xanathar. Maybe that's good. Do we survive with that? I'm not sure, to be honest. We can block a couple of things. I mean, we're going to probably have to block the manlands mostly. I mean, I know that if this survives, we might be able to get stuff off the top of the deck, but until then... Man, so much protection. Draw cards, indestructible, ward 1, manlands. If they play if they play one more Merfolk, they can tap 5 to put counters on each of them as well. It's going to be very, very rough if that happens. They're going to get a bigger Merfolk. Also, what kind of 3-mana Merfolk is scary here? A Kopala. So they've got even more ward. Spells target a Merfolk cost 2 more, and abilities your opponents activate cost 2 more. Wow, okay. We could double block, but let's keep the Xanathar alive. Here. Okay, let's see what we have. Even if we play like a few 1-drops and stuff, it could be pretty good. Oh, it's going to cost so much more to fight as well. Spells your opponent's cost that target a Merfolk. Why did that have to be a fight spell? So this is going to cost loads. I guess we'll do it. Let's see. So it's going to cost more mana. We have a counter spell here, so I mean, we can try and fight it, but that means we're not going to have any other blockers, which is kind of annoying. So if we use Adrenaline a lot, we reduce our chances of casting other spells. Reflections of Littjara steals the land on top. That's interesting. Okay. So we can't cast this because, well, we don't have the mana, frankly. Guess we'll go for the Lazav. That lets us surveil 1. It gives us a blocker. Vesuvian Mist. I just need a board wipe. Yeah, that's a real shame. We didn't really get to do much. I mean, in hindsight, maybe I should have gone for the Kopala, but I just feel like the fact they can draw so many cards just by tapping Merfolk, just insane value there. Going for the Hall again. So they're basically forcing us to block each turn. They're getting desperate. They just needed to draw there. So a block here, block there. It's got indestructible. So as long as we get a chomper each turn, we might be okay. But yeah, it's pretty tough. Tribal reflection. So now whenever they cast a Merfolk, they get an extra Merfolk, which is pretty crazy. Okay, let's play their Merfolk then. Well, if someone, let's just get that off the top. Fabled Passage is good because then we can see the top card and then we can use it if we want to. Okay, so now we're just getting loads of blockers. The Xanathar here is looking pretty crazy. So you can look at the top card of your library. Don't know. What type do we want to get? I honestly don't know. Nightmare. Probably not going to matter. Just keep casting their things here. Crazy. Going to get a big blocker. How are they going to come back from this? We've just basically abused their whole deck. The Fabled Passage gets a land from our decks, strangely enough. So obviously, if they've got something like River's Rebuke, we're in a lot of trouble. Yeah, we'll pass turn. So we got 4 creatures off the top of their deck there, with Xanathar, who's pretty powerful, I have to say. They're going to go for Kamina, so they'll get a copy, but it's a legend, so it just dies. That was interesting. I've never seen 2 animations. They also cannot hold priority in order to tap it. Yeah, you can't do anything in response to the legend rule, sadly. Weirdly, they went for the token, which is easy for us to kill. 4/5. I think we just chomp that with this. So the cool thing about Ulamog is if we get to cast it, it's a caster trigger, right? So it means that we can exile stuff even if they counter the spell. So this is definitely turning out to be a crazy battle here. But maybe it's worth just casting their spells. Oh, Mars Vandal, that's good. We can exile their Lichara. So yeah, I think we delay Ulamog and we'll just go for the Vandal first. Yeah, because we don't want them to get double. That's just silly. Okay, then we can tap something down, but although we're going to have to pay 1, I'm not really too bothered. Loses all abilities though. Oh, it loses all abilities. That means that will lose indestructible. Oh, okay, this is important. Oh no, wait. Loses all abilities. Oh, there we go. Yep. So now we can kill it. Or we can try to kill it anyway. Okay, Deeproot Champion could get pretty huge here. I just can't believe how many lands are in their hand. They've got 4. Oh wow, okay, they're going to pump the entire team. They're getting worried, I suppose. But we can reduce their team by 1, which is fantastic. Go for another Merfolk. Herald of Secrets. Oh no. That means they just win the game. No, that basically means they win the game. Yeah. As soon as they play that, we can't do anything. Creatures can't... That's crazy. We've basically cursed ourselves. Although we do have the power word kill. But we're not going to be able to target this. That sucks so bad. Oh, just consigned myself to death, haven't I? Just going to have to attack in. Oh well. That's a very strange corner case, to be perfectly honest. Like, I can't believe that. Yeah. Crazy. Oh, I gave them the win con. I literally gave them the win con. Oh well. Oh well, it's a crazy game. Yeah, we can't target anything. They've just all got ward. Yeah, can't target it. Illegal target. Unbelievable. Do you know what the crazy part is? The timing of their tap. The one time they used the tap ability to put counters on all their creatures was the exact turn before they had unblockable with creatures with counters on them. So if they had done this, if they had played Herald of the Secret streams in this turn and they hadn't done that, then I would actually be alive. I would have had one more turn. But it's almost like they knew, which is, you know, mental. That was crazy. We go first against Vraska. Starting hand, not great. Need more lands, to be honest. Geez, this is terrible. But we can surveil, so we can surveil with the Lazav. Vraska can kill the Lazav as well, but not too bothered about losing him. So we need to land on top ideally. Okay, perfect. We'll leave that there. Explore. So they can go for the Vraska the next turn. Blimey. Cut down as well. Okay, very aggressive. Super aggressive there. Now, annoyingly, they've accelerated too fast for us to actually... Oh no, okay, tap land. Okay. Okay, fine. Alright, I feel a bit safer now. Clackbridge Troll. Yeah, we're gonna counter that. That's just too much value, unfortunately. Leyline. They can't kill that with a Vraska. They can kill it with something else. But yeah, having Flash against this deck could be pretty viable. Especially if we have something that costs 3 mana that we want to live a bit longer. They're going for Garrett.
You ever listen to this?
Okay, let's see how we can deal with this guy. He's going to get a lot of value, but if we get our 6th land... We got our 6th land. Okay, we're looking good. Pass turn. So now we can surprise them with the Burning Rune Demon, which gives us some more cards as well. It's tricky to deal with the Leyline. I mean, you know, they are going to be able to establish some threats and stuff, but we now have a mystery quantity for them to face, and it's interesting. If they have Close Grip, that has split second. Binding, as if. As if. So they're going to go for the Leyline. Okay, go for the Burning Rune Demon. Take action. So they kill the Leyline, but we're going to get something back. What do we go for? We can go for maybe Hourglass or Xanathar. Give him a horrible choice to make. Going for Hourglass. Does that mean they've got a board wipe, I wonder? Interesting. Let's kill the Garrick.
I'll survive this.
Now they went for the Hourglass Coven. So they could have a Languish in their hand, couldn't they? So I think we'll go for the Gyruda here. Try and get some other form of value if we can. Gearhulk. And I guess Bind to Secrecy. Let me just see what's in the graveyard. Okay, fine. Fine. We'll get a copy of the Llanowar Elves. Lol. Not the greatest hit. But this does mean Language now doesn't work. Yeah, because the Hourglass Coven would have given us 3 4/4s. Or sorry, a 3/3 and 2 4/4s. Find Broker. Going for the big Garrick. This is Garrick Tribal, even though it's a Vraska build. Interesting. Burleson Citadel, fantastic. Love it. I love it. Land on top, that sucks. Swing in. Chomping it up. Okay. What could they have? Even a Casualties of War wouldn't be that great here. Blood on the Snow, though, that is pretty good. Have to say. They've already returned the Garrick, so they've actually made it worse. What do we do? Let's go for the Vesuvian Mist. Bounce the Mystic. Massacre with nothing out. Okay, that's probably not so useful. We'll go for Kairi because it has Ward 3, which means they cannot kill it with a Garrick. Because they're going to have 3, 4, 5, 6. If they want to kill it, it's going to cost 3 more mana that they don't have. So it's a pretty good attacker versus someone with 6 mana. So the cheapest kill spell they could use is 3 mana. Oh, and they have it as well. As if they have it. Okay, fine. Fine. So let's mill 6 and return 2 spells. So now we can counter another spell. and we can bounce something. They've done this themselves, Anakin. Okay, so Memory Deluge. Never do this off the top because you'll actually look at 0 cards because X is the amount of mana spent. So this is actually one of the worst cards to have on top. What? They quit already. We've only got loads of cards in our hand. Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.